So what I want to do now is, as we move through the ranks, there are some of the ranks. I could introduce Diamond and Blue Diamond and Hawaiian Blue Diamonds currently, and but we have a guest speaker, and so I really want to hand the time over. It's somebody that you may recognise or have heard the name. He certainly had a phenomenal amount of success, and he went Black Diamond, which is an incredible rank. I'll let him introduce what Black Diamond is and what it means. But if you hear his story, you know, it's always easy when we see people on the videos or on the internet, we hear about them, we think, oh, you know, it was so easy for him because of X, Y, Z. And then when you actually hear his story, you realise it really wasn't that easy. It actually took a lot of work for a lot of years in preparation to do those things. And so I'm just thrilled. It's his first time, I think, officially here in the UK. And we really appreciate him coming all this way. Please, ladies and gentlemen, can you put your hands together with a big round of applause for Black Diamond, Calvin and
Yeah.
We on? You can keep playing the song. I'm good with it. I'm gonna get some people up here dancing with me. What's up, MonaVie UK? I'm excited to be here. This is my first time in London. Beautiful place. Next time I come, I promise to stay a lot longer. Help you guys even more, right, Conrad? So, you know, my name is Calvin Becerra. I'm a Black Diamond in MonaVie. I'm currently the youngest Black Diamond in the company. I've been with MonaVie now for almost 4 years. And when I started MonaVie, I was 26 years old. You know, I had no experience in the industry. I didn't know anyone who had ever been successful in the industry. And to tell you the truth, I never knew anyone in the industry. Yeah. And, you know, I remember I did get invited to one network marketing meeting or opportunity meeting. I think it was an Amway meeting, but it was called something else. I forget. What is it? Quick Start, right? And I remember sitting in someone's home, and you know, the kid, he was a young guy, he was my age. I think I was like 22 or 23. He gave a good presentation, you know, and his parents were really successful. They were the Baker family out of, I think they're Corona or Lake Elsinore, California. And he gave a really good story, talked about how his family had been successful, and even talked about how he was successful. The meeting ended, and there was just an awkward silence after the meeting. No one talked to each other, it was quiet, it was weird, you know? No one asked anyone to get started, or how do you want to get started, nothing. And I didn't know what to do, so I went home. And that was it, you know? And you never knew what I could have or would have been in that company, you know? And I saw it right there, but you know, nothing happened after the meeting, and there was no initiative to get me started, or even anyone that was there started. It was kind of weird. And you know, later I became a Black Diamond. And I remember I was at a car wash with my black Mercedes, and he was there, you know, the son of this Baker family, you know. And he said, "Hey, you know, how have you been?" And I said, "Great." And he said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm doing MonaVie." And he said, "How's it for you?" I said, "I just became a Black Diamond." And his mouth just dropped to the floor, you know. And I said, "You know, I remember the first meeting I ever went to, you gave a presentation, but you just had the wrong closing, you know? You were successful in the business, but I don't really know how, you know? And it was just crazy for him to have to go home and probably think about that, you know? And probably changed a lot of the way he did business from that point on, right? And, you know, my story to get to Black Diamond, I know some people have been on some webinars that I've done for the UK and for Conrad's team. And some people heard my story over conference calls, but there are a lot of new guests here, I hope, today, and there are probably some people that aren't guests that haven't heard my story. And I want to tell you a little bit about my road to Black Diamond. You know, I became a Black Diamond in 8 months, okay? But don't let that fast story fool you. You know, my journey to Black Diamond started when I was a young kid. I had a best friend growing up. It was my twin brother, Brandon. And, you know, I lived with just a single mom. She raised us in Northern California. And, you know, I didn't really meet my dad until later, until I got into college and I have a great relationship with my father. But when I was young, I didn't have any relationship with him. You know, he was out of the picture pretty much. And my mom had taken me, my brother, and my younger sister, Amber, to Northern California to kind of get away from the drama from her family and her life in Southern California. And I remember we took a bus when I was about, I think I was 5 or 6 years old. We took a Greyhound bus from Southern California to Northern California. I remember the whole ride there. This lady that was sitting there pushed my mom off the seat because she wanted 2 seats and made my mom stand up the entire time in Northern California. And I remember when we got there, we got off the bus, and the very next morning we went and stood in one of the local county buildings so my mom could apply for welfare and for Section 8, which is housing for I guess, poor people, right? And you know, we did that. My mom got food stamps. We were on welfare growing up, and still, even with government assistance, my mom couldn't get a job. She had to raise her kids, and even if she ever did get a job, they laid her off within months, And I remember, even though she was getting that assistance, we still couldn't keep the lights on. We couldn't keep the heat on in the house. I remember I'd come home from school as a kid, and half the month we'd have candles lit, and the other half our electricity would be on because my mom would finally get enough to pay. And at 8 years old, my brother and I, we didn't really get to have a childhood like most kids have, just be kids, And we weren't playing outside with our friends. Me and my brother were trying to figure out how to make our mom happy. She was always depressed, always in a bad mood. And me and my brother were trying to figure out what we can do to help her, And when we were 8 years old, we decided to start working. Just going outside, knocking on doors, asking, hey, me and my brother just going around the neighborhood, and we're asking if anyone wants their car washed, And if you want your car waxed. And 8-year-olds don't do a good job waxing cars, so I wouldn't suggest ever having an 8-year-old do that if they come to your door. We've messed up some cars before, right? But, the neighbors would let us wash their cars. We'd ask if they needed yard work done. We'd help, elderly women go from the grocery store, wait for them to come out and help them carry their bags as they walked home. We did anything we could to make money, And every dollar we collected, we'd bring back home to our mom, and it would help her with the electricity, or help her with the gas, or the cable, or the phone bill, or whatever it would help her with. It was something to help her, And our work ethic started at a young age, and we kind of fed off of my mom being happy. The happier she was, the more we wanted to go out there and help her. And it just got, burnt into our minds that, if you want anything in life, you have to work for it. It's not just going to come to you for free, And nothing's handed on a silver platter for most people, right? And it wasn't handed to us. And we worked, and all the way up until, high school. We were about 15 years old. We wanted to be the first ones in our family to ever attend college. That was going to be huge for us. We wanted to go to college, we wanted to graduate and get our degrees. And no one in our family had ever done that, And my mom always told us when we were little, you guys can do whatever you want, and you guys are going to go to college. So we never thought we had a choice anyways, right? And we knew that in the neighborhood we lived in, I remember growing up and going to school, and the kids would run the classes. They'd cuss at the teachers, they'd yell, they'd throw batteries at them. It was crazy, the kind of stuff that happened in these schools. Me and my brother we'd turn our homework in before the kids got to school, so the kids wouldn't know we did our homework, so they didn't make fun of us or try to beat us up. We'd hide our grades from our friends. We'd act like that we didn't really care, just to mix in with the kids in our neighborhoods. And I remember when we were about to go to high school, we didn't want to go to the high school that these kids went into, because we knew that, it wouldn't be an easy road from that high school into a good university. And we knew that we had to go to a good high school. And we found a private, all-boys Catholic high school in a place called Concord, California, and it was a school called De La Salle High School. Really good Christian Brothers High School, and just had a really good academic program and the top athletic program in the state, and even in the country. And, we wanted to go to this high school, but it cost a lot of money. It was about almost $8,000 a year for each of us to attend that school, and, my mom didn't even make $2,000 or $3,000 a year. So you can think about how my mom felt when we wanted that. She was sad, she was depressed for us, and she knew that even though we were going to take the placement exam, we couldn't go there because she couldn't afford it. But my brother and I had our own plan, right? We took the placement exam, we got accepted into De La Salle, and the letter came in the mail. My mom was afraid to give it to us, because she knew we probably got accepted. And we were so excited, me and my brother. We didn't care about how much it was going to cost. We knew that we were just going to go there. And my mom was probably had a million things going through her head about, what would happen the following year when we were freshmen in high school in 9th grade and not going there, And my brother and I, the next weekend, we took the bus about an hour and a half away to Concord, and we went and got our work permits at the city hall. And then we went from job to job to job to job, everywhere we could, and filled out applications. We were 15 and a half. And, everyone gave us applications, you know.